Hey guys, Mike from 24 Hour Solar Power here. Today we're talking about heating. We've had a cold snap come out of nowhere and I thought I'd whack up a quick video on how to heat your home energy efficiently. And I'm going to use this little tiny house, a little container home that we put an off-grid solar system in about 2 years ago now, and how Glenn Energy Efficiency heats his home off-grid. When it comes to off-grid, the biggest expense is batteries. So the more batteries you require to put in, the more the system's going to cost. And then also you require more solar panels to charge those batteries to get through the night. And when you're thinking about off-grid and heating, it's always winter, the shortest days, the longest nights. So batteries are really important. So you want a whole heap of extra solar panels to get your batteries charged and a whole heap of batteries to get you through the night. Now Glenn's system's not huge, it's not crazy of what he's done. I think he spent less than $20,000 putting this solar system in to do all this. So yeah, this is his lounge room and his kitchen, and in between here, he's actually got his solar system lives there in between. So that's basically his solar system. That's his inverter and everything like that, and his batteries are not there. And he's got a ground mount of solar panels over in the middle of nowhere. So what Glenn actually does, Glenn actually uses a panel heater. I'm going to discuss here what's the benefit for you and your house, the best situation to heat, and whether you're on the grid or off the grid. All these principles will apply, it's the same. Just off the grid, if you run your batteries flat, you're either going to be running a generator or you're going to be waking up cold. So there's one of the two options. What Glenn's done here is with the space, now these panel heaters, what I'm talking about with the panel heaters, these 400 watt panel heaters is what Glenn's used at his place. They look a bit like this. You can buy them at eBay. Bunnings do these a lot. These are a panel heater that you just put on the wall and it just radiates heat. And they'll do up to about 12 square meters. My experience using these, if you've got a bedroom, they work really, really well. They just take the edge off. So when you sort of wake up and you get out of the room overnight, it's just taking the edge off. They've got timers, they're fully adjustable, so you can turn the thermostat up and down. Some of the cheaper ones, they don't have any adjustments. They're just on or off. They're just 400 watts and they'll pull 400 watts all night long. So if you think about it from the cost point of view, if you're going to run it for 10 hours, we'll just talk to make the math easy, and you're using 400 watt hours, so 400 watts an hour over 10 hours, you're going to end up using 4 kilowatt hours. Now, from a point of view of cost for your house, for buying the energy from the electricity grid, you just times 4 kilowatt hours by whatever you pay from the grid, and that's how much it's going to cost you to run this for the night. Now, be careful with panel heaters because a lot of people run out and buy panel heaters, and there's two types of panel heaters. Now these are simple, they're just on and off, 400 watt. I said there is actually one, like I'll use Bunnings as an example, or Home Depot, you can buy one with a timer on it and a thermostat. So basically it'll turn on and off and reduce energy, and you can actually control how much energy it's using and pulling. The other type of panel heaters are these convection type, where they pull the air in the bottom and put it out the top and they heat it. So they're going to create an air circulation within your house. There is these ones that are 1,000 watts, and understand with these ones here, you know, the other one's 400 watts, these are 1,000 watts, so it's going to cost you twice as much to run. Now, some of these ones are 2,500 watts like this also, you can buy from Harvey Norman and stuff like that. A lot of the more expensive ones actually are completely controllable. So if you do really want instant fast heat, you can turn these up and get them cranking. And if you don't, if you just want them on the 400 watt, the lower setting, you can. So just check out the wattages and the watts. If you times that by the time you plan on using it, that'll give you the kilowatt hours. And then you can times that by what you get charged from your energy bill. So yeah, so panel heaters are a really great way to efficient to heat your home. The other thing to think about and consider with heating is that if you do have access to firewood, you know, like Glenn here's got loads of access to firewood. I know he's got a fire and stuff out in the middle out here. With the access to firewood, if you don't have access to firewood, it can be more of a cost to get the firewood implemented and that sort of stuff. If you really want to reduce your electricity cost, if you have access to free firewood, unfortunate thing for most people, like if you live in a city and the cost of getting firewood in, burning it, doing all that sort of stuff, the reality is sometimes it's cheaper just using electricity over the winter months rather than buying in firewood. So something to consider and have a look in. The other really energy efficient way if you want to use electricity to heat your house is actually air conditioners. Now air conditioners technically are a heat pump, well they are a heat pump, and they work more efficiently heating than cooling, which basically means you'll use more energy heating the house than cooling. And play around with the temperature settings on an air conditioner. Some of the air conditioners, if you reduce the temperature, say for example you put it on heating for 18 degrees overnight, that is going to use heap less energy and it might actually compete with a 400 watt panel heater. We've done some testing with our place and our air conditioner works really well if we leave it on all night. You wake up, the house is really nice and toasty. If you just leave it on the very low setting, the lowest setting possible, you can put it on a heating mode and it'll just keep the house up at that temperature. The other thing that I've also noticed with the air conditioner as well from an energy efficient point of view is we actually just crank the air conditioner up first thing in the morning, and I've actually found we use less energy doing that. That if we just wake up, when you get up, put the air conditioner on powerful mode. Now, the thing to consider that with off-grid and why that's really a struggle with off-grid is because to have that instant heat, the air conditioners, from my house, I've got a 7.1 kilowatt capacity, cooling capacity air conditioner. So it pulls about 2,400 watts when I've got it on the heating powerful mode to heat flat out. It only takes about 10 minutes of that energy to get the house cooling up to temperature where I actually like it, and you can reduce it and put it down. So just play around the temperature settings when you're playing with that sort of stuff. The other thing to consider when thinking about air conditioning and things like this, something simple. We're in the middle of renovations at the moment, so our house is not where it's want to be. We've got air leaks everywhere. Our downstairs part of our house is really well insulated. We've got double glazing windows, the roof's all insulated. It's amazing. In summer, we had days where it was like 39, 40 degrees plus, and without any mechanical cooling, our living room was like 27 degrees. So no fans, no air conditioners on, just purely the double glazing and the insulation kept the house around 27 degrees. And even when we did run the air conditioner, we only ran it on the dehumidify mode, which brought the house down to about 25 degrees cool, which when you walk in from 40 degrees, it's like walking into a cool room. The best money you will spend is getting your house airtight, some simple gaps around the doors and that sort of stuff. And what we've done, like I said, because we're in the middle of renovations, we just brought a simple curtain. We just went over to Spotlight, got a curtain to put up in the lounge room door to keep the heat in that room so the heat's not actually escaping from the lounge room. So it's a lot more energy efficient just to heat the one room. And basically overnight, we just opened up, let the heat go up into the bedrooms and things like that. So yeah, have a real think about how you want to plan to heat your home, because it can get really expensive, and buying these cheap heaters for 80 bucks, you're just going to spend the money somewhere else is the reality. If you're going to Bunnings and buying some really cheap electric heaters, if we just have a search of electric heaters now at the moment, the problem with these electric heaters, and what's really good about the panel heaters, they actually hold the heat and they radiate it. Electric heater, you get these pretty ones that look like a fireplace and things like that. These things actually just cost a fortune to run. So I basically personally would avoid anything that looks like this as much as possible. What these heaters are really good for is heating an individual, so just one person. These are they're not space heaters basically. It's more energy efficient to use the heater to heat your space than these. These are more personal heaters. And same with the good old oil heaters. These can be dangerous with kids though, touching them. They'll hold that heat and radiate that heat overnight. They can be really energy efficient. And from a solar point of view, if you have the ability to crank your heaters up of an afternoon between that 3 and 4:30 in winter, because look, the reality is we lose most of our usable power after 3 o'clock in winter. If you could start using the air conditioner, using your solar, you're going to get benefit from that there to really heat your house and get it going and keep up with it. So thanks for watching, guys. I really hope this helps, and it's all going to depend on your situation of heating, of how and what's going to be the best solution from you. If you want to heat a space, air conditioners normally are a better energy efficient way of using electricity to heat a space than these type of convection heaters. So don't be afraid, and you really want to have an inverter type air conditioner. And sometimes the best money spent is actually upgrading to newer technology for air conditioners. You get an inverter type, they're really energy efficient, and it's going to really help reduce your energy consumption. So appreciate you for watching, guys, and any questions or comments or this advice has helped out, I'd love if you could post a comment below and give the video a like. Have a great day.